Policy, Regulations, Services Plan of COVID-19. This administration office of COVID-19 has a retaining wall, a concrete rebar, and installing some rock and services. And this merges with the exit to Kennewick and exit to Pasco. And this monument carries concrete rebar and mass curing into the foundation. And of course the cobble rock, river rock. Here in Washington State you call it river rock. The cobble, the breakdown of the cobble and the series of the retaining wall of the COVID-19 Policy, Regulations, Services Administration Office, Social Security Office, 131, Klamath, Cincinnati Administration Office. Carries this administration office to its monument service, carrying the administration office all the way over the Blue Bridge. Now, it's a monument of the Sylvester Street, exit 114th mile. Where they executed a state patrolman that was harassing Lola Hernandez, Roberta, and also the services of the Jay Mueller and Jay Mueller's daughter, Amy Mueller. So they like harassing these administration offices and agencies. Mueller's funeral home, we have a Bruce Lee Memorial, Green Lee Memorial, and Sylvester Street on Court Street. Merges in with Sylvester Street, which is exit 1/4. It carries executive order. You know, there's bullet holes. There's some bullet holes to the Sylvester Street exit. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 holes that made it through, but one stopped. One didn't go through, but the 3 did. Large, gigantic increments to society. Now this dirt merging is Mr. State Patrolman that was executed. They're just covering the dirt up, covering his body up, because he was executed in Pasco, Washington. So we got 1 bullet, 2 bullet, 3 bullet. There's 3 that exit and 1 did. So 3 went through and 1 did. 3 on top and 1 on bottom bottom got stuck. You can see those bullet holes. You can see the transparency to the 3 on top and 1 on bottom. Abraham Lincoln was executed 3 times. The first time, it was the 3rd one was successful, but they executed Mr. Abraham Lincoln 3 times. And then the bottom half, which the bridge was built in 1919. So this bridge was built in 1919, where Mr. Abraham Lincoln was executed, and his grave was pulled out. And they took pictures of his dead body to make sure he was dead, because he lived through 3 assassination attempts. The 3rd one, they weren't even sure if he was dead or not, because they kept on seeing him walking around through the White House to the grounds, because he was a lawyer. And when he was a lawyer, he was executed 3 times. For that reasoning, removed his body, and they executed that state patrolman here in Pasco, Washington. This is living arraignment. This is their stakes: 718, 717, 3C, 36C. This is at Northwest Wall, 73. Look at it, go figure. 7.7.7 wall. So this wall is going to be merged, and the Corporation COVID-19 Executive Order, United States Constitution, and Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, which is janitor service in Clearwater, We went to K&U news station, and we have some bullet holes above Sylvester Street. Symbolic value. Take the sign down, put another sign down. They have the bullet holes, 3 on top and 1 on bottom. That means Mr. Abraham Lincoln was executed. Civil War, and much of the corporations of their service. Mr. Cimarron5INC, Andy Miller at. That's Andy Miller, Attorney's Office, 712 Oakland Place, Kennewick, Washington. 509-735-3591, Cimarron5INC. 1400 East Main Street, Othello, Washington. Barela, Felix 805 at Gmail, Cimarron5INC. Mr. Eric D. Olson, designated broker, 610 First Avenue, Othello, Washington. Business 509-488-5651. Still 509-989-0838. Eric E. Olson, 7 Basin Properties, residential, commercial, farms. www.7basinproperties.com. Mr. McKenna, Professional Service Corp. John Luke McKenna, Attorney's Office, 704 East Olive. 509-765-4451. Mosaic, Washington, 988-375-509-765-6019. Fax, COVID-19 policy regulation. McKennaLawOffice.com, LukeMcKennaLawOffice.com. Beautiful man. Look at Nindu and Amir, Singh, Cimarron5INC. License numbers NIJJAAS 320B5. And that's Amir Singh Cimarron5INC. Mr. McKenna, beautiful man, 74 East Olive. Broken window, but the circumstances of the Service Administration Office is dead. State Patrolman as witnessing all this material and soil and posts and signs and concrete retaining wall, COVID-19 executive order. Because I'm a United States citizen. Because I'm not no criminal convict. Mr. J. Mueller being harassed by administration officers and services and complying to COVID-19 behind the doors. You know, Mr. Andy Miller, we see the recorded information how you harass Andy Miller and harass Felix Barela and harass Jay Mueller. Jay Mueller's daughter from Mueller's Funeral Home, which is Highlands Middle School and Kennewick, Kamaikan, and Pasco, and Grand Ridge High School, and the University of Washington, and Richland campus, and also the International Airport in Moses Lake, the Army base, the airports in Pasco, how they try to restrict and restrain and complain and file complaint, and when it's not capable of doing so, because Andy Miller's office has laptop, recorded devices, all those such matter, we're just witnesses this testimony. No, Charles Tower Wallace, my neighbor, Kenneth W. Chadwick, at number 42, and right next door is 56 C Street, Northwest P.O. Box, Alfredo, Washington. Mr. Kenneth W. Chadwick, his bar associate is 33509, 509-754-5264, fax 509-754-5835. Mr. Teresa Isler, Administrative Assistant, Lead Support, 8127 West Klamath Court. Building 6, Suite A, Kennewick, Washington, 99336, 509-734-7284. And that's Teresa, Mr. That's Seattle, Tacoma, Spokane, and Richland. Patty Marie, Miss Canwell, and Smiley for the Senate Office, Administration Office, and their services of COVID Campaigning Services Administration Office in Richland, which is 825 Federal Courthouse. Mr. Mike Selleck, SCLLICK. That's the Brooks Athletic Club himself at 43 Bay Street. That's Laurel, Print Client Service Supervisor, 6815 West Canal Drive, Suite D, Kennewick, Washington, 509-783-5665, fax 509-783-6520. That's ODS 00962 CPC at OfficeDepot.com. Now, Stephanie Ashley, News Director, 509-737-6745, cell phone 949-4372, K&U TV, 3312 West Kennewick Avenue, Kennewick, Washington, 99336. That's Stephanie Ashley, NBC right now. Now, cement masonries and services, and then also the plaster service of Washington State. Facebook and YouTube and scan me with the Cement Masonry Plasters Local 528, Seattle, Washington. Ashley Linger, Human Resource, 712 West Oakland 9 Place, Kennewick, Washington. Ashley Linger, SEO Benton, Washington, 509-737-2777. Risk Management, 712 West Oakland 9 Place, Building A, Kennewick, Washington, 509-222-2332. Mary Christian, SEO Benton, Washington, U.S. Caroline Ainsworth, Human Resource, 712 West Oakland 9 Place, Building A, Kennewick, Washington, 509-737-2777. Human Resources, Lexi Wingfield, 712 West Oakland 9 Place, 509-737-2777. Lexi Wingfield, SEO Benton, Washington, U.S. Human Resources, Tammy Default, Human Resources, 7112 Okanaan Place. This is 72 Okanaan Place, 509-737-2777. That's Tammy Default at SEO Benton, Washington, U.S. Now this executive order carrying this exceptional service of increments of society, you know, for the fact where they like to hide the truth from the society itself. Hide the truth from the society itself. COVID-19 policy, regulation, and services. So to hide the truth by making things up. So we got soil, we got grade, we got template, we got screener directors, some ownership and services. Mr. J. Mueller, Mrs. Lola Hernandez at the Life Care Center. Roberta Barela at Life Care Center in Richland, Kennewick, and also Fabian Barela at Life Care Center, Richland, and Kennewick. Then we got Roberta, we got Lola, we got Fabian, we got the death certificate, ownership and services for Nebraska and Texas. There's Bay County Justice Department. We have a dead body of a state patrolman here in Pasco. Known fact, they executed him. He ran off, called all his squads, all his backup units, all his friends and his tormented services, and made things up. And his dead body remains here, along with a dead Marine, United States Marine Corps, which is an immediate relative at Wheeler's funeral. See, the consequences of the truth awaits the wise, the patient, the educated, the rich, the famous, and nothing but nonfiction. Now that this consists of all the lies and consequences that your mother, father, your grandfather, grandmother told you, because we have Amir Singh here, we got Mr. Eric Olson, Mr. Norman J. Mattis, Mr. Mark Miley, Andrew, General of the Army, a General of the Marine Corps, President of the United States, and also the services applying the COVID-19 policy, regulation, and relationship with the birth certificate. You know, this picture comes from a birth certificate from Nebraska and Texas, which is the presidents and by presidents and presidents and presidents, the cabinets and service of war, Oval Office, Pentagon Administration Office. We have all recorded. Testimony and services implying the COVID-19. Mr. McKinnon at 704 East Olive has a broken window. This is being paid for, but the consequences are the false information that we've recorded in a video inside McKinnon's office, inside his vehicle, outside the area, and inside Grant County, Benton County, Pasco, and Mrs. Laurel is a specialist at office matters. These laptops are in Andy Miller's office. These affirmation centers and affidavits are established and sealed at the Federal Court Ordinances and Appeals Office. And Teresa has all this information in corporate with this service applying this executive order. See, this guy's deceased and he's still starting confrontations. You got the Capitol Hill, you got the COVID-19, you got mass graves, you got the funeral ownerships in Kennewick, Pasco, and also Mueller's funeral, and Rhonda Kaiser funeral. We got a jet engine that is $80,000 that's paid for, and still, if we're being tormented, intimidated, all walks of time's birth. We got a gentleman at the People bus be intimidated by somebody with the bus services, and we call 911. Results of the matter of the conquest, trying to avoid confrontation and making things, try to calm things down and throw water on the fire, but all it did was spread havoc. COVID-19, protests, contests, war, confrontation, day by day, week by week, month by month. Now, we'll take a little walk to the Social Security office. Walk to the Social Security office and get our tax forms, UBI number 602-720-979. Now we got all this information. Just to walk over a bridge to go to the office center, sit in the COVID-19 policy regulations services, dealing with the administration office that carries the concrete rebar steel company and the premix and Pasco concrete company and the curing products and the winter services as a surcharge, of course. Like these stupid cartels or wannabe mafioso, fabrication, birth certificate, first name, last name, consequences on that. You got some real fools that come here and litigate and use their face, their consequences of their pretty much self-explanatory. Their consequences of what they're protesting, COVID and Capitol rioting and surfacing increments of their criminal activities and affidavits and devices and propaganda and job description, because all that information surfaces when you're in a courtroom or a courtroom or your residence, your address, your business, UBI number. See, the consequences of exposing these individuals and this dead state patrolman that's with the COVID-19 policy regulation service, which are no good. It's pretty self-explanatory. Walking over the Blue Bridge, consequences of the boat race weekend. I understand the boat race weekend, the Blue and the Blue Thunder, United States Air Force, and comprehensive services, all walks of earth. We have Justin, we have Annalisa, we got these are employees, Justin, Annalisa, Dan, Fernando, and also Dan, Annalisa, and Fernando, and Justin, and Bill, and Karen, and Richard, Karen, Bill, Justin, Neil, Fernando, understanding of the administration office's processing ignorance in the society of this propaganda of the circumstances of the exposure dealing with the administration office to the keys of rebar and partitioning and curing and digging and track hoe and comprehensions of breaking down the system, bringing a retaining wall for the criminal activities that the consequences that have been exposed to there, because we have recorded information of people like breaking the window out. They can't own up to their consequences. They're cowards, as you can see. They put all their things away and dismount and procure and lay out their information and foundation that brings the administration office to utmost comprehensive disclosure. And then propaganda and the service applying the administration office. And oh look, someone bust their window. Consequences are you're not getting away with any consequence because individual hardship of pure and concrete and rebar and plain lead down on concrete part and rebar. You know, they did this before at Home Depot, which is called Kohl's now in Kennewick. We drove that immigration truck all the way to their office, Mr. Andy Miller's office. Just crossing the bridge. Now the penetration of breaking a wall down and breaking a window down, except for the consequences, and we're walking across the bridge and we're dealing with all this service, you know, cowards. Manipulation of service is Mr. Andy Miller and Norman Manis and Andrew Miley, Mark Miley Andrew, driving the AM irrigation truck all the way to their office. That's that video. They like busting our windows out, you know, coming to the area, talk to their face, talking SHIT to their face, let them know, you know, you're not afraid of them, you know who they are, what capability and formalities, you know. They talk all that smack, all that garbage. Look at them now. Tie the rebar together and rebar it. Tie up the rebars, gather all the information. Go to the courthouse, go inside McKenna Law Firm, get the video, drive the vehicle around, which has video. To the rebar, you know, grab the Kabul. Kabul airport is Afghanistan. That's where they had the riot. They had a COVID-19 policy regulation riot. Biggest riot they had in Afghanistan. They pulled out of that because Mark Miley has an AM irrigation truck parked in Andy Miller's office. Go figure, Mark Miley, Andrew, United States General, and Norman James Manis. You know, all that information just keeping approved of the administration office, the COVID-19 policy, regulation, and service. You know, like breaking my window out, McKenna Law Firm, the Supreme Justice Department, and Hill's office. See how legalities get? Remember we walked here before? We walked through here before on boat race, and then before that for the boat races for tax forms, and go to the post office and go to the Social Security office and get tax forms and signatures for confirmations of service for direct EFT transactions. See, they got 3 bullet holes on the top of that Sylvester sign and 1 at the bottom. The 3rd bullet was Abraham Lincoln. See all that brick, all that wall, all that corruption? All that gravel. See, that gravel needs to be placed up. When Home Depot was built, you had to lay down gravel, and we had millions of dollars worth of equipment. And when we drove that truck all the way down to Miller's office, it made an awesome case against the DOJ and Army and the Navy, Air Force, Marines, because we got a pretty self-explanatory flag over the Blue Bridge that holds the Constitution of amendments, programmable, watch state guidelines and federal guidelines. Office to a serious epidemic and fallout, which is the censorship of the United States of America. Richland 240 West, next exit.